welcome to episode 522 of the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Ian, and this is the only podcast that says...
Ticking away the moments that make up a dull day. Fitter and waste the hours in an offhand way. Kicking around a piece of the ground in your hometown, waiting for someone or something to show you the way. Tired of lying in the sunshine, staying home to watch the rain. You are young and life is long, and there is time to kill today. Then one day you find 10 years have got behind you. No one told you when to run. You missed the starting gun.
Floyd.
Yeah. I was looking for... Because, it's the 10-year anniversary of this show today.
Yeah.
We posted the first episode 10 years ago today. And so I was looking for something about time, and that was that seems to be the ultimate song about time, in my opinion.
It's a good song.
It is a good song. So first off, happy anniversary, and how are you, sir?
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I got you some masks.
Yeah, you got me some nice. I'm good. Just working.
Yeah.
That's about it. I don't really...
Did you do anything for Memorial Day?
Nah.
No.
I mean, they made some hot dogs.
Yeah. About it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weak sauce, but...
No, I didn't. Better one. I had
We never usually do anything for Memorial Day or Labor Day. Usually we just... 4th of July. Of course, I'm working this year. But...
I don't even do I'm not somebody who it's I got this extra day. It's Memorial Day, first day of summer, or Labor Day, it's the last day. And I gotta, that shit costs money. You know what I mean? I'm not having a blowout or anything. I had a couple of turkey burgers and some fries.
There you go.
That was my dinner. Then I stayed in and watched Rabbit Hole all day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Fuck, was that show good?
Yeah, it's good, dude. I'm telling you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not a sleeper, but...
Well, I mean,
holy heck, is it hot?
It is. It's very hot. It's like Memorial Day hit and summer came right behind it. Ass sweat summer immediately began.
Yeah.
But getting the Rabbit Hole, I knew I was gonna like it. It looked very interesting. And I liked Kiefer Sutherland. I liked Charles Dance.
Mm-hmm.
So it was okay. Well, this looks very interesting to me. Now, what I thought it was, and what it turned out to be, were two very, very different things.
Yeah.
I really thought it was a caper show.
Yeah.
I thought it was an Ocean's 10, type of caper, and no, this was, deep and in all honesty, a little bit scary.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like holy shit! The way they talked about the use of data, and it's a really well done show. It's a little far fetched, but it's still very, very well done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
And I liked they resisted the urge to make the Kiefer Sutherland character a badass.
Yeah.
Everybody knows he's Jack Bauer. Jack Bauer's one of the ultimate badasses.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Jack Bauer. But at the same time, I was waiting, and he wasn't that, anywhere close to that. He was the polar opposite of that character, in a way.
Yeah.
And I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
And so I thought Sutherland was great. I thought Charles Dance was great. I forgave what I thought was wasting Peter Weller.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the unforgivable sins. You just can't waste Peter Weller.
Yeah.
But, you got a satisfactory payoff with Lance Hendrickson.
Yeah.
And I was is that Lance Hendrickson?
Yeah.
Fuck, am I old? Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was very good. Very well done. It's a show. It's on Paramount Plus, so if you've got that, I highly recommend it. But it was really, really good.
I did finish with them. Kind of weird to describe, but I missed the first season. I saw a couple episodes of the first season, and then I jumped right into the second season with them. Oh my god, it's the one with Christina Ricci.
Yellow Jackets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really fucked up and good.
I've heard it's very good.
Yeah. And then there was that movie about Oswald.
Yeah.
The proposal, not the proposal. Maybe.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Really good.
Yeah.
That was excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did watch that. And the girls started watching Muppets, so I watched that with them.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
we're an episode before they all trip.
Yeah.
That's a good episode.
That's a good episode. And did you just start watching Fubar?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the first. That was.
Very first episode you
Yeah,
just
yeah,
watched.
yeah.
Okay.
It's a great show so far.
Yeah.
If it continues like this, I'll like it.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah,
You will. I have no doubt about that.
yeah. It's right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, and my concern was like, man, Arnie doing a TV show, like, is it going to be like, it's me, Arnie, you from Central Command. Here's your mission, and or something like. But he's very involved in the show, throughout the entire season. It's very good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's kind of familiar with that character anyway, right? Sort
Yeah.
of.
Yeah. I mean, like it's like a twist on True Lies.
Yeah. But yeah, from what I've seen, I like it.
Good.
Yeah, seems funny. That's about it, man. It's following the Steelers.
Yeah.
And the Pirates. I've been following the Pirates.
Yeah, I keep track of them. I don't
watch highlights and stuff.
Yeah.
But who would ever thought that? I never even thought I'd even hear the day that we scored 13 runs in a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, like
their offense is pretty good.
Oh, it is. I mean, they've
They can hit.
they definitely can hit. Like they get into these cycles, and this is where I always get concerned with the Pirates. Like they'll get into a cycle where they have like dominant pitching, like they'll be one of the best pitching staffs in the major leagues, but they're losing games 2-1,
Yeah.
2-0. Like they just can't score runs. And then so they'll make trades and they'll trade away pitchers to get hitters, and all of a sudden they're losing games, 7-9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like it was always like there was a long period of time with the Pirates where that's the way it always felt like. Excuse me. Like you'd have like 2 years of like, oh, we've got up and down the lineup. We just got guys that can hit, but there's no pitching whatsoever. So you trade those guys away to get pitching, and now you've got no hitting, but you're losing. But you're still losing games because you can't score any runs.
Right.
So there was like that 3-year period where they had a perfect balance of hitting and pitching.
Yeah.
And they went to the playoffs 3 straight years, but outside of that, I mean, it's
They have
always
some good pitchers on deck, though, don't they? Decent.
well. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's where it becomes a problem. Is like, okay, when do you bring a guy up from the minor leagues? Like, especially if you're in a position like the Pirates are, like, it's the beginning of June. You're like, last I saw, they were like a half game out of first place,
Yeah.
and when you get into July, if you're still in that position, like, what move do you make? Like, you would be looking like, okay, we need to make a move to reinforce our pitching. You know, so you make a trade, you bring in a guy, like you know that guy that you need to reinforce your starting pitching or something.
Yeah.
The Pirates won't do that. Like they'll make a trade at the trade deadline, and they'll bring in like 2 bullpen guys.
Okay.
You know, they won't make that big splash. They won't trade away assets to make that big splash to make that run. You know, those 3 years they went to the playoffs, all 3 of those years at the trade deadline, they didn't do much of anything.
Yeah.
And they needed to because you need to make that move to show yourself and the fans we've bought in.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna go get that guy from this superstar pitcher from this team is gonna come to us for 1 year, but we're willing to trade away assets for a 1-year run because we think we're good enough to do it.
Yeah.
And they never do it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what's frustrating with them. It's like, you know, the Penguins do it.
Oh yeah.
You know, the Penguins have traditionally been, you know, very active at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
You know, they're always making a move to bring somebody in to improve the team.
Yeah.
And, like, it's not as popular in football. So I don't, like, you know, the few trades that are made are like, you know, wow, I can't believe that trade was made.
Yeah.
So I don't blame the Steelers for not doing it, but they, you know, those are moves that are made now,
Yeah.
which is what they've done now.
Yeah.
But the Pirates, it's just like, they're just not going to make that move to bring in a guy to rent for a half a season because they would much rather have those assets in the minors
Yeah.
than try to improve their major league roster and spend a little money to do it.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. Like, it's that thing of, like,
They look good though.
that's the thing. Like, you sit there and you like, I've reached a point with the Pirates where I've said, as long as they're competitive, I'm happy. Like, I don't want to see them getting run out of the park.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them, like 2 years ago, like the embarrassing play where, you know, they had a guy in a rundown going to first base. Why you gotta have a guy just touch fucking first base?
Yeah.
Why is he in a run? And you let a run score because of it.
Yeah.
And the guy was safe at first. Like, how does that fucking happen? like it was the most embarrassing. Like, I was embarrassed to even say I was from Pittsburgh on that day. Because it's like, you know, oh, you're a Pirates fan. Yeah, you know. So it's like, all I want is them to be competitive.
Yeah.
Just give me that. Be a slightly above 500 team or a 500 team. A team that's always, you know, when a team has to play you, they know they're in it for a fight.
Yeah.
You know, not, oh, the laughing stock of Major League Baseball's back in town. You know, here's 3 easy games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's where I'm at. So, like, yeah, it's great. But at the same time, like, I hate when people, like, get their hopes up because it's like, man, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just not. Neil Huntington has proven time and time again it's not going to happen. He has no interest in winning. He's only interested in making money.
Yeah.
So,
You think he'll ever sell the team?
I hope so. Like, I hope he reaches a point of, like, he's tired of the bullshit of, like, but the problem the problem becomes, like, who do you sell the team to? Like, that's the weird thing. Like, there are problems that the Pirates have fundamentally that Major League Baseball will not fix. Like, just flat out, they don't make as much money as the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, the Cubs. Like, these major market teams, they have more money to spend than the Pirates ever will.
Yeah.
So that's a problem that Major League Baseball has to fix. Well, they refuse to. So the flip side of that is, like, you're never going to have an owner come in and spend $200 million to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just not going to happen. You're not going to suddenly see, like, some owner come in and all of a sudden they are just spending money on the top free agents.
Yeah.
That's never going to happen. But at the same time, there are ways to build a team to be competitive year in and year out and maybe make that run. And when you do have the ability to make that run, like you look at the Kansas City Royals, they went 2 years in a row. They won one, they lost one. But they went to the World Series 2 years in a row and completely sold out to do it.
Yeah.
And they've stunk ever since. But they've sold out to do it. They sold their souls to win that World Series.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to be willing to do.
Yeah.
Like, you have to reach that point where we're willing to say, we are all in.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing is, Pittsburgh has shown, you
Yeah.
put a winner on that field, they are all in with you.
Yeah.
Like, there will never be, like, as much as I love Steeler playoff games, and as much as I love Penguin playoff games, and the atmosphere of both of those, there will never be an atmosphere like that wild card game against the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
Ever. I mean, that was menacing. If I was a part of a visiting team, I would be intimidated because it was a blackout. There were Jolly Rogers all over that stadium.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Johnny Cueto dropped the ball. Just, like, stand on the mound and drop the ball because he was shitting his pants. Like, and the crowd was on him. I mean, it's one of the... that is, and it's a sad thing to say, but that is one of the greatest moments in Pirate history.
Yeah.
Is Johnny Cueto dropping the ball and then McHenry hitting the home run right after that.
Yeah.
Because you'll never see that again. That was 20 plus years of frustration coming out in that one moment.
Yeah.
And that place was the most intimidating place on earth. There's not a doubt in my... And I mean, PNC Park is the best ballpark in all of Major League Baseball. There's not a doubt in my mind about that. I've heard more and more people say that it is, if not the best, second or third at worst. You know, but you throw in that atmosphere on that night and that crowd and the blackout, like everybody wearing black shirts and the Jolly Rogers just flying in the air and everything about that night. And that there is nothing the Steelers could do. There is nothing the Penguins could do that could ever capture that night of magic.
Yeah.
You know, Renegade has its moments, and, you know, the Penguins with the whiteouts and stuff, they have their moment. But that night, like, even the Pirates were wearing black. Like, they were wearing black jerseys that night. And it was just insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. That is lightning in a bottle that you could never capture again.
And you went to that.
I did not go to that, but, like, I remember watching that game.
Yeah.
Like, that was the hardest ticket in town to get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that game sold out in minutes. And I wasn't going to go because, like, I had already at that point, I'm boycotting the Pirates. Like, I'm never going to a game again as long as Neil Huntington owns the team.
Yeah.
And I wish I was there. Like, it's one of the few, like, things I can honestly say, like, fuck, I wish I was there that night. Because I'd been to enough Pirate games. I've been to enough Pirate games at PNC Park to know what that place was like. And to see it, like, and I always imagined it that way. Like, I always imagined, like, that atmosphere. Like, what would this place be like? Like, just Jolly Rogers in the air and, like all that frustration just coming out. Like, it came out that night. I remember watching that game going, fuck, I wish I was there. I really did. I'll even take a nosebleed seat for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to be there and feel that.
That's cool.
I mean, the next closest thing would be 92 when Lemieux scored that goal game one against the Blackhawks in the last seconds to win that game. Like, and that was a game that they came back, like, they were down like 4-0, and they came back to win that game. And Lemieux, like, off the face-off, hit that shot to win the game. And, like, I just remember the Civic Arena was shaking because the crowd just erupted. Like, I remember the camera, they had a wide shot of the ice, and the camera was shaking from the explosion that was the Civic Arena crowd that night.
Yeah.
You know.
I think people forget those Lemieux moments. They do.
Yeah.
Well, the younger generation, they didn't see it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But like, I mean, that was one of the, again, I mean, I had no chance to go to that game. I wished I was there, but like I had no shot whatsoever to ever get to that game. But like I remember watching that at home and just like erupting myself because it was like, get the fuck out of here. This is happening, you know.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got, it's funny moments like that, in sports history.
Yeah.
Like when we went to that West Virginia VT game.
West Virginia VT?
No. Pitt VT.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the one where they punched it with the last, like West Virginia, or Virginia Tech was like ranked like 5 in the country or something. Yeah.
That was crazy.
That place erupted.
Yeah, that was an eruption.
And that was a full house that night.
Yeah, it was full. That was a night game. It was freezing.
Yeah, that was like an ESPN primetime game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember that because I mean that was like you thought like because Walt Harris was the coach. I was Fitzgerald's sophomore year, his last year there, and like they're down close, and you thought, man, they're gonna throw the ball here, and they handed it off to the running back, and he like bowled his way in. I just remember like that place just went nuts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Yeah, it's cool to see stuff like that.
It is. Like the only other time I've seen something close to that was Pitt, West Virginia. And I think it was Tyler Palko's senior year. And they scored the game-winning touchdown. Like, but it was in the far. Like I was in the closed end of the stadium, and they were down at the far, the other side, the open end. And I remember Palko. It was a sneak, and he went in standing up, and a West Virginia player knocked the ball, but he was already in the end zone. He like bobbled it, and he like hugged it, and like. Because that's a 50-50 crowd, so like it only half erupted.
Yeah.
Cause like that's the like, when West Virginia comes to town, when Penn State comes to town, when Notre Dame comes to town, that is a 50-50 crowd. Like honestly, like I mean, that's the problem with Pitt nowadays. But that Pitt West Virginia game, that was a 100% Pitt crowd. Like I think, and that was like the stadium was still new. Like it was only 2 years old at that point. So it was like. They were still a draw because of the newness of the stadium.
Right.
Like, I can't see a Steeler game, but I'm going to go to a Pitt game.
Yeah, right. I can see the stadium.
Yeah. And so that was like a majority Pitt crowd. But that place, that Pitt Virginia Tech game, that place erupted.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good game. Yeah. I've been to some good games. I can't even imagine what it'd be like in Chicago during Jordan's heyday. I mean, how many last shots have you seen?
Yeah. Well, I saw...
You know what I mean? Live.
Right. Well, I was also at the Pitt West Virginia basketball game where Ronald Ramon dropped that 3 from the corner to beat West Virginia in the last second shot. They get the ball to Ronald Ramon, and he just drops the dime from 3-point land. And I was just like, the Pete erupted that night.
Yeah.
Like, it was West Virginia, and West Virginia was good.
Yeah.
Like, that was a good West Virginia team. Like, I think they went to the Final Four that year even. Like Pitt Snoggle was there, like guys like that. And that place just went ape shit. And that time, like, the Pete had a reputation, too, of being a hard place to play in.
Yeah.
Like, that was during that run where Pitt was, like, really good. They were a top 10 team. Like, I watched them play a few times, number 1 against number 2 against UConn.
Yeah.
Like, that was a time where Pitt basketball was, like, that'll be considered a golden age of Pitt basketball.
Yeah.
And So that place was packed. It was the hardest ticket in town to get at the time, like a pit Big East game. You just couldn't get tickets for them. And like I remember Ronald Ramon hitting that shot, and it just nothing but net, and the clock expires. And I was just like, that place blew up.
The Panthers gone, by the way.
Huh?
The Panthers gone.
Is it?
Yeah, they knocked all that shit out.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're doing
do
something up. They're doing something up there. I can't remember what it is. I saw their
It's like
plans
sports
for it.
arena or something.
Yeah, they're doing
Another
all
venue.
sorts of shit up there.
Yeah, but they've put retaining walls almost all the way up to like where the VA is.
Yeah,
That's how much room they've made.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
But that whole little knoll area right there,
Yeah.
it's gone.
yeah.
I like that area.
I like that area. Well, that was that area. Like, I had that picture taken of me. Like me and Nancy came out from a game. It was against South Florida. And while we were in the arena, there was like an inch of snow that fell. So the Panthers covered with snow.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was like the coolest thing. Like I love that.
Yeah, they tore that all out.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah, it was nice right there.
Yeah, I agree.
Had the wall right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now that's all torn up. The front of the hospital's all torn up.
Yeah.
That looks like freaking. They went down. I mean,
Yeah.
I know you gotta go deep, but you know, where children's used to be, they
Yeah.
tore that all down,
Yeah.
and it was a grassy knoll for a long time,
Yeah.
and now they're building that new tower there, and it's just. I mean,
That's a lot going on.
it's like you're looking at like stories deep
Yeah.
when you look into that hole.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. Those would be 15 stories.
Wow. I know at least for Pitt Athletics, like they've done a ton of stuff, and like I know they're doing this renovation of that area where the Pearson Event Center is and stuff, and
Well, they bought all the way over
yeah,
to where that, it's like a block away
yeah,
where that weird looking building was.
yeah,
They bought that and they tore that shit down.
yeah,
And so they've bought all the way out there.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. It's you know, it's weird to look at because, like, before, you know, you could see the VA on top, and there's
Yeah.
some dorms up top,
Yeah.
and there's a walkway that came down to the Pete,
Yeah.
and you know, they had trees there, and
Yeah.
you know, deer coming in there, and
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of serene.
Yeah.
But now it's like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know how they created that much room.
Yeah.
I don't know where they put that fucking dirt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just there's a retaining wall down there that's probably like 50 feet high.
Yeah.
That is high.
Yeah. I mean, all that dirt probably went down to Fern Gully to support the new bridge. Yes, they're not building bridges. They're gonna fill that gully in.
Yeah. It's crazy. Anyway, so the Pete's a mess.
Yeah.
The front of the hospital's a mess. Pittsburgh's a mess.
Oh yeah.
I was going to work today. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm on Carson.
Uh-huh.
I'm going toward the south side. I just get on Carson.
Yeah.
And, you know, right there at the Glenwood.
Yeah.
Got onto Carson Street. So I'm on Carson Street. Going. And I get down to the ice cream shop.
Yeah.
Road's closed.
Wow.
No signage.
Yeah.
None.
Nothing. Just all of a sudden you get there and...
No, they're working. Duquesne Light's working.
Oh, okay.
Which made it more and more inexcusable.
Yeah.
Like, there was no signage on that road.
Yeah.
Not even at the beginning of Carson Street.
Yeah.
No signage. Road closed. Da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And I don't know the back ways in and out of Carrick
No,
to go up and over and down the slopes and stuff. I don't know anything about the slopes.
No.
So I turn around right past the ice cream place. And I come back the other way and there's a detour sign. I was like, go fuck yourself and your detour sign. I was so pissed.
Yeah.
Because literally I'm like 10 minutes away at that point.
Yeah.
No, I had to go all the way back to frickin' Glenwood, get on to eventually get on to 2nd Ave, go up Bates, do that whole shamoo.
Yeah.
It's just irritating. I'm so tired of the construction, I can't even express.
Yeah.
Like, just fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, how long have they been working on 5th? Is it 5th right there? Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have they been working on that?
Forever. Oh, that's been forever.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even look like there's any progress.
No.
I mean, that's a main way into the city. It's a main way to PPG.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a main artery.
Yeah.
Everybody that leaves Oakland either goes across the berm,
Yeah.
takes the left to get onto 376, or goes straight through downtown.
Yeah.
It's a main artery. And it's fucking a nightmare. It is.
Oh, I'm
I
sure.
feel like every time I drive back from a show or a game, I feel like I'm driving in a minefield.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Or, post-apocalypse.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I'm like, geez, just fix your shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm tired of the construction. And it's just like, they block like I know, I'm bitching. They block like 3 or 4 arteries at once.
Yeah.
Like, fix one, get it fucking done,
Yeah.
and move on to the next one, and then move on to the next one. You know what I mean? Don't shut 3 things down.
Yeah.
I listen to radio all the time. They're like, oh, Pittsburgh's gonna be a nightmare this weekend. It's out for a month and a half. Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why aren't these crews working at night? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's what they do down south, especially because of the heat during the day.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make it. All right, I'm done. I just can't stand driving through Pittsburgh anymore. Before I can get in and out, I kind of knew where to go. I can get in and out of the Strip District
Yeah.
where I needed to go. Now there's a road closed here. There's a road closed here. There's a detour here. All of a sudden, I'm on Mount Washington. What the fuck?
Yeah. How'd I get here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, I'm done. I'm just tired of the fucking construction in Pittsburgh. I can't fucking stand it.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was so pissed when I got to that fucking ice cream shop.
Oh, I
was
can
like,
imagine.
What the living fuck?
I'd be pissed too, because it's like, really?
Well, I mean, at least put a fucking sign out that says it's going to be closed.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, more importantly, how do you just close that? Like, I know it's a Saturday, but like,
How do you close that? No, look. I mean, I don't know how the fuck long it was closed, but how do you close that on... There's a Pirate game at 4.
yeah.
It's fucking the Arts Festival
Yeah, the Arts Festival.
and Pride.
Yeah.
And you closed one of the main arteries into the fucking city.
Yeah. Yeah.
What, are you kidding me? Oh. Irate. I was so irate.
I can imagine.
Just, I don't know. And then I get off and I start going back, and this irritates me the most out of anything. I'm on Carson Street, and what do I come up on? A fucking cyclist.
Oh.
On fucking Carson Street.
Oh.
On 837.
Yeah.
Like, and every time I see a cyclist, right? There's a fucking, on right there next to the goddamn train tracks.
There's a bike path right
There's
there.
a bike path.
Yeah.
Right fucking there.
Yeah, what are you doing up here?
What are you doing on this road?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah.
Even when we put stuff up for bikes, because Pittsburgh is not a bike-friendly town. I don't care what people say. And I know they've done their darndest
Yeah.
to make it one. It'll never be. Our streets are too small.
It is. Exactly. That's the whole problem. Like,
Yeah.
it's too narrow of a city.
Yeah. But driving on the main arteries just absolutely drives me crazy if there's an alternative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people that bike across the hot metal. What?
Yeah.
There's a bike, there's the old railroad bridge.
Yeah. You have your own path.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, you can go from Homestead all the way to the south side
Yeah.
on one path.
Yeah.
No. Don't do it. It kills me.
Oh, I know. That's one of my, like, I think everybody has that gripe, like.
And then if something happens to him, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they fucking go through red lights. They don't use hand signals.
No.
They pull in front of everybody else and then proceed to go through the light.
Yeah.
They don't obey basic traffic patterns.
No.
No. None of that.
Nothing.
No.
But, but you're the asshole.
But you're the asshole and then they're free and clear to do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Yeah.
Drives me fucking up a wall.
Oh.
It does.
They're the worst.
I feel like Douglas and falling down.
Oh, trust me, like every day I understand him more and more. Like that character makes more and more sense to me every day. Like, yeah, that makes sense. I get it now.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I wish we could become a more bike-friendly town. And we actually could, if they would just do it. We have the railways. They can make bike paths all along our railroads.
Yeah.
And our railroads completely connect the city.
Yeah.
They do. They completely connect it up.
Right.
But no. And our bridges are wide enough to where we can have a bike lane on the bridge.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, we'll just put bike lanes, on second.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
This super narrow 4-lane highway, we're gonna add a bike path.
Crazy.
It is. Insanity.
And who would ever want to bike up Bates?
Oh, you're 100% right. I agree.
Yeah. It just wasn't built for bikes.
At all. All right, let's stop bitching about Pittsburgh traffic because that's what draws listeners. Yeah. I was trying to think today, and I probably should have done some actual research. I looked back.
Yeah.
But with it being the 10-year anniversary of this fine program, what are the biggest stories, or maybe some of the favorite stuff that you can think of off the top of your head that we kind of discussed? I think the biggest is Disney's acquisition of Lucasfilm.
Yeah,
that's probably the biggest.
I think our whole saga following the Avengers was pretty good.
Yeah.
And we followed that from the beginning, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
There's some big stories. I mean, we covered all the main news over these past years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not to be Debbie Downer, but synagogue shooting.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
We discussed all that. I don't know. Just a lot of stuff over the years, man.
The one that always comes to my mind.
Miramax,
yeah. Yeah. But the one that always comes to my mind is it's a show that does I've actually, even though it's old enough that I should have deleted it, I've kept it in a couple episodes that followed after it up about Yeti Erotica and Dr. Chuck Tingle.
Yeah.
And what's funny is after I discovered Dr. Chuck Tingle.
Yeah.
And the amazing erotic literature that he wrote.
Yeah.
He hit a level of popularity. The guys the people who do Welcome to Night Vale were doing a podcast about his stuff.
Yeah.
They were doing erotic readings of his material. It was this weird thing where there was like a brief, like, I want to say like 6-month period, like right after we discussed it, that like other people were like, check out this wackadoo.
Yeah.
And like, that was like one of those things I was like, I know we didn't kick it off and we influenced nobody whatsoever, but like we found it first in a lot of ways.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like, it was like shortly after that like the rest of the world kind of caught on to it. So like, but like, it's funny, like every once in a while, like that episode, because I felt bad because, I mean, Otter was here. Like, we're here to discuss Game of Thrones. We go off on this tangent about Yeti erotica.
Yeah.
You know, like, poor Otter. You know, but like those episodes get downloaded.
Yeah.
Like you'll like every couple of weeks, I'm like, yes, four up downloads on that episode. Like, really? Like, it's one of our most listened episodes.
Really?
Yeah. So like that, I think of that moment, and you know, I think all the times that we've gotten together, like, you know, and this kind of like weirdly, this kind of snuck up on me, like the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Like, I just kind of forgot about it until I saw it in my memories on Facebook.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh shit, it's this week. You know,
Yeah.
That's why we didn't do anything, because it just completely slipped my mind. But I do think like the times when we have gotten together with like Otter and Stork and Peacock and Thad,
Yeah.
and Sarah, and like, you know, I think back to like episode 200 when Hedo came.
Yeah.
You know, I've never taken that off of our, like, episode 200 is still available. You can still listen to that one.
Yeah.
Because that was like a really good episode. And like, I mean, that dude came from like Idaho to spend the day with us.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous. Like, luckily it happened to coincide with his travel plans, that he was going to, you know, to spend time with friends in Atlanta. But at the same time, it also, like, he chose to make part of those travel plans to come and spend the day with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and like, that's amazing to me.
Yeah.
You know, but like we've. I just think it's interesting. Like, I heard Stork talk about this on his podcast, because they're changing it in Peacock for whatever reason. She's no longer doing it with him, so he's just doing it solo.
Uh-huh.
But like, you don't want to quit the podcast because it's allowed us, like, you know, we've met the guys from Hobie,
Yeah.
you know, and Neil and Annalise from Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks, and you know, there are internet friends that we've made. Like, you know, they're internet friends. Like, I'm not going to say, like, you know, we're besties or anything, but, you know, at the same time, we support each other. We talk to each other. We, you know, I have fun with them online. You know, Stork and Peacock, Otter, Sarah, you know, these are people I never would have met. Anthony from Ireland, even though we've never technically met him.
Right.
We have communicated with him.
Yeah.
But these are people I would have never met if it hadn't been for the podcast.
Right.
You know, so it's like that. You go all the way back to, like, you know, the Flounder, one of the OG super fans.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this weird thing, like, you know, like, nobody listens to this show.
Well, some people.
Some people, but I mean, like, nobody listens to this show. Like, I'm not saying that to be funny. I mean, it's just real. You know, so it's like, well, why do you do it? Because it's a money thing. I have to buy a new laptop at some point. You know, This laptop is damn near dead. You know, it's, you know, so why I pay a certain amount of money every month to host a podcast. I said, why do you do it? Well, because it's fun. You know, and those few people who do listen, like, I honestly hope they are enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like, that's my feeling. Like, if you're somebody who like, you look forward to it every Monday, like last week, and it was Memorial Day. I thought, fuck it, I'll just post I watched the AEW pay-per-view. That finished up at midnight.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I'm done. I'm tired. I want to go upstairs. But I went in the kitchen, and I fired up the laptop, and I uploaded the podcast. Because I was like, even though tomorrow's Memorial Day, there may be somebody who's looking forward to waking up and listening to us the first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
I doubt it, but that person may exist.
Right.
You know, not everybody has off for Memorial Day, so maybe there's somebody who like that's what they need in the morning to get ready. So that like I stayed up late. Well, not that I stayed up late, but you know, instead of going upstairs and laying in bed with Sabine, I spent the extra hour to upload the podcast and do the stuff I got to do to set it up for the week.
Yeah.
So, like it's that thing of like it's 10 years, it's 522 episodes, it's very few weeks missed. There was a 7-year period where we didn't miss a week.
Yeah.
We put out an episode every single week without fail. It's like at this point, it's fun.
Yeah, it's what we do.
It is. It's what we do, and like I have friendships of some type. Like again, like I'm not gonna sit here and say like like the guys from Hobie. They're great guys. I know them. We talked to Jason one time, or we talked to Jason a couple times. I've been on their podcast. He's been on ours. Like, great guy. Love him to death. But I mean, I wouldn't like if he called me like, "Hey, I need $1,000." I'd be like, "Sorry, Jason." But so, but you know what I mean. Like, but there are our internet friends. They entertain me during the day, like with their shenanigans on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I look forward to. I look forward like, what the fuck are these people up to today? Oh shit, here we go.
Yeah.
And we have an interaction, or they make fun of me for the shit I like, or whatever it is. It's that's the stuff I enjoy. And like these are people I just wouldn't know without this podcast. I would have never gone down this rabbit hole without the show.
Right.
I know.
It is like fucking Brazil.
Well, I mean, and that's the problem. Like, we're getting away from like this sentimental moment.
I know. I'm sorry.
I mean, Ian's showing me his belly to wipe his head, but it is hot.
I gonna have me some fun.
Yeah.
Just give me a razor.
Yeah. Oh.
That's I'm beating like that.
Yeah.
Right now. In this house.
It's brutal.
Gonna have me some fun.
Yeah. But I mean, it did. It honestly did. It went from like comfortable mid-70s during the day, 50s at night, to like, jungle ass hot.
Sweat box.
Yeah. Like, and like, I'm the type of guy too that like,
Well, it's funny. I was listening to the news too, right?
uh-huh.
They're like, it's going to be 89 degrees, but there's not going to be much humidity. Motherfucker, you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you right now. I don't know what you were thinking about no humidity.
Yeah.
We're up there.
Yeah.
I can't stand
Like,
weathermen. They get the wrong forecast.
And like today, like I'm driving around doing my stuff. And I'm the type like, in all honesty, I try to drive without the air conditioner on as much as possible.
Right.
For the main reason, it just draws power from the car.
Yeah.
Like, and my car has power problems as it is.
Yeah.
She's not exactly got the most get up and go.
Yeah.
As much as I love her, she's not a
Speed demon.
yeah, not at all. Not at all. You gotta work her to get her going.
Yeah.
Today I was like, I gotta fucking run this air conditioner. It is too fucking hot. Like this ain't right. Like it's even at home. Like I was like, I'm looking at the temperature last night, and I'm like, it's midnight. Maybe I can turn the air conditioner off, turn the fan on. It's like 72 degrees out. Like that ain't happening. Nope. Run that AC.
Right.
Run that beautiful bean footage. So.
Yeah. But we have covered a lot of shit over the years.
We have. we on like we like I like the biggest being Lucasfilm getting bought, and the revival again of like Star Wars in a lot of ways. Disney buying 20th Century Fox was huge.
Yeah.
That's monstrous.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at well, that brings home X-Men, and that brings home Fantastic Four back to Marvel.
Right.
They have the rights again now.
Right.
There have been cultural phenomenons like, even though I didn't watch it, Hamilton.
Oh yeah.
Hamilton was a cultural phenomenon that swept the country.
Yeah. Huge.
Huge. I mean, that was huge. We went through the pandemic together.
Oh man. That was rough.
That was essentially a year where we saw each other twice.
Yeah, that was terrible.
I saw you the day your mother died, and I saw you at the cemetery.
Yeah.
That was it. Like in person, like there was just none of that.
Yeah.
And like the way the world changed, and we've watched the rise of streaming services during this 10 years.
Yeah, we have.
Big time. Big time. Where it is a major factor in everything. Like to the point where like ESPN's talking about like in 10 years, ESPN will no longer be on cable.
Right.
Like that is massive to think about. Like that'll be the death knell in like cable television if they lose ESPN.
Yeah.
No, honestly, because think about it. And you travel enough. Any hotel you go to, any airport you go through, there are usually two. On most TVs, there's one of two channels that are on that TV. It's either CNN or it's ESPN.
Yeah.
Like anywhere you go in this country, like any place that has a television, it's a public place. They usually have one of two things on those televisions. It's usually either ESPN or CNN.
Right.
And if they have multiple TVs, they usually have both.
Correct.
Like, that is massive. And to think that they're talking about, we're looking at where the industry is going, and we feel in 10 years, ESPN will be better off as a streaming service than it would be to be on regular television, because the number of eyeballs that are going to be on it are less than you would get if you just had it as a streaming service.
Right.
That's insanity.
It is insanity.
Like, I would... Like, to me, it's that weird thing of, like...
Sorry.
Like, you could have never seen this coming.
Right.
Like, when Netflix moved from DVDs to streaming, like, I never thought it would replace so much.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, honestly, like, to the point now where, like, the NFL sold, their season packages to YouTube.
Yeah.
It's not on DirecTV anymore. It's not on a satellite service, it's not a cable service. You just have to have YouTube. And you pay YouTube the $200 whatever dollars it is for the season, and you can watch every fucking NFL game.
Not nice.
It's an impressive feat that, like, I never would have thought happened.
Right.
Like, I never would have thought in a million years, like, you just need a computer and you can watch any NFL game you want for a price.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we wouldn't even have thought about that.
No. And, like, so it's...
Yeah, and I cut the cord, so to speak, during this 10 years as well.
Yeah.
And I've quite enjoyed it.
Right.
Insert Danny the Dog's on Netflix now. Or
Oh yeah,
Unbreakable, I guess. That's
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Danny Dog, yeah, Unbreakable.
That's
Yeah,
what was being told to me.
nice. But yeah, I mean,
She's like, no,
yeah,
it's a good movie.
it's a great movie. But I mean, but that's the other thing. Like, and also like you can watch if like it used to be like, okay, if I were to watch, if I don't go see this movie in a theater, I gotta wait a year and it'll be on HBO.
Yeah.
Now, I don't see it in a theater. I wait 45 days. It's on a streaming service.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, in all honesty, I mean, that's the truth.
True.
Which is amazing to even think about.
I know.
And I mean, there were some movies you never saw at home.
No.
Like, I remember, like, I mean, it took... When we were kids, I remember it was a monstrous deal when HBO premiered Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
And we were, like, 14. Like, we were older when that happened.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that was a huge deal. I mean, that was, like, almost 10 years after it debuted in the theater. And they finally were like, look, kids, we got Star Wars.
I know.
Like, wow.
I still miss the days of video stores.
Oh, so do I. Like, and that's the thing. Like, it's that weird thing of, like, there used to be, like, I don't know how this has changed, but there used to be, like, a pattern to things. Like okay, a movie debuts in a theater.
Yeah.
And once it makes its run in theaters, then it goes to, like, airplanes.
Yeah.
Like, it was like this, so you can watch this movie on an airplane.
Yeah. Like
And-
Meet Joe Black. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then it made it, like, it went to, like, hotel on demand.
Yeah.
Like, and this is before, and it still hasn't made its way to, like, home video. Like, you can't go to a video store and rent this yet. Like, I remember my dad was working at the Holiday Inn, and he was maintenance, and part of what maintenance did was they had a TV that had access to all the movies. Like,
Okay.
it just, they were like, they boxed, so you could, but it was so that they could monitor and make sure the quality was okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, my dad hooked up a VCR and recorded Batman 1989, like that movie, like 2 months before it went to, like, home video. We gave it away as Christmas gifts.
Nice.
Like, honestly, my dad, like, made copies of it and gave it away. So, like, my cousins Jimmy and Joey had, like, Batman on videotape, like, 2 months before their friends did, because it was available at the hotels first.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like movies had there was like a way it transitioned before it ever made it to home video.
Right.
And, like, home video was like 6 to 8 months after, and even then you still couldn't buy it.
No, you can only rent it.
You could only rent it from a video store, and it was like another 3 months before you could buy it on your own.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that was, like, for a very long time things were that way. That was like through the 80s, through the 90s, well into the 2000s.
Yeah.
That's how shit worked.
I can remember Hollywood Video, and you just waited.
Yeah.
There'd be a line out the door for new releases.
I remember, like, so going there, like, well, when's The Crow come out? Like, well, you can buy it now. We'll order it for you, but it's $98.
Yeah, who would have thunk?
Because that was, like, the copy you purchased as a rental place.
Right.
But it was like they could order that for me if I wanted to spend the $98 for it. I'm like, well, I ain't spending $98 for the fucking Crow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, on VHS? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Wait, that beta?
Betamax.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
But then there was also, like, weird things, like it would be on Laserdisc. Like, remember, Laserdisc was a huge thing, like, through the 80s and 90s.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, it would appear on Laserdisc before it would be on VHS.
Yep.
And I didn't have a Laserdisc player.
Most didn't.
But
Not back then.
The people who did, they let you know it.
Oh, I know.
They were letting you know. They were, They were living the high life with the old laser disc player. Like, you motherfuckers. You know.
Same thing with tapes
Yeah.
and CDs.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the CD.
Yeah.
As I'm
Yeah.
my fucking pencil
Yeah.
trying to fucking rewind my
Yeah.
tape that my fucking tape player ate in my fucking truck.
Yeah. But yet, I wasn't as jealous because it was like they did, like, that's great. Yeah, you got a CD player at home. That's awesome. But yet, connect that up in your car, you had to have the disc man, and you had to, like, run that in with a cassette tape into the cassette tape player. And that motherfucker was skipping every time you hit a pothole.
Oh, yeah.
Where my tape worked just fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know.
And that's the thing, too. I can remember, I thought the coolest thing about when I first got my first car, my first truck, my truck.
Yeah.
I thought the coolest thing in that truck, as weird as this sounds, in the front of my truck there was this front pouch,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That sat on the, like, between your legs, like,
Yeah.
right in front. That's where I put all my tapes.
Yeah.
A lot of my tapes went there
Yeah.
because I could just pop it out right there, right?
Yeah.
And another cool function about that radio was, which I had never seen before. This dates me. But when you put the tape in, if you press fast forward and rewind at the same time, it'd flip the tape.
Yeah. Like, you had the heads would flip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's badass. I don't want to listen to this. I want to listen to
Side two.
Side two.
Yeah.
Bam! I thought that was the coolest shit.
Yeah.
God, I'm old.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, but anyway, what you're saying, like, those transitions, it's crazy where we're at now. You know,
Yeah.
and we've gone through it in this podcast. We've seen the change.
Yeah, like the effect that streaming has had on the industry and people's viewing habits
Yeah,
have certainly changed a lot of things.
Yeah, well, COVID changed a lot of things too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean that certainly
It
did.
kind of was like the catalyst for some of this.
Right. But that change was already in the wind. Like, cutting the cord was not that novel before COVID. I mean, it became much more regular during and after COVID.
Yeah.
But yet, I mean, younger people were the ones who were like, yeah, I just need 3 streaming services and internet. I'm fine.
Yeah.
You know, that was which that's fine. But it was like, once we got into COVID, it was like our generation was kind of like, why am I paying so much money for all this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't watching this shit anyway. You know.
Yeah.
So like, I that's COVID kind of made it normalize it much more.
Well, you know, that's the truth with cable television. The bulk of those channels you don't even watch.
No.
You don't watch any of that shit.
No.
None of it. Seriously.
Yeah.
No one's watching cricket.
Yeah.
No, really.
Yeah. I agree.
But you know, that's the thing. That was their catch. You know, we have over 379 channels. Well, you have 5 channels for cricket. You have 6 channels for basket weaving. You have, you know what I mean, like
Right.
sports from, I don't know, Taiwan. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you, there's at least 175 channels that you've probably never even put on your fucking TV.
No.
So why are you paying for it?
Right. I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's what made me do the switch. You
Yeah.
know, because I was like, we're not watching any of this shit anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know, anyway.
So, but yeah, I mean, but streaming has, like, during the 10 years of this show, certainly become a very prevalent presence. Like, we just talked about, like, I watched Rabbit Hole on Paramount Plus, you know, Discovery, Star Trek Discovery, like the revival of the Star Trek franchise on television through Paramount
streaming.
Plus.
Yeah.
You know,
Crazy.
it's crazy. Like, you know, it's found a whole new life on a streaming platform.
Yeah.
Disney Plus, with everything that they're offering, and you know,
And the origination of that.
yeah,
We were like, wow, Disney Plus, what's this?
yeah. And like the show that the Mandalorian is such a draw, and everything has kind of come out around that, not just with Star Wars, but with Marvel and Muppets. Muppet Mayhem is one of the best Muppet things I've ever watched.
I know.
So it's amazing, like when you look at like how like Netflix offering old movies and TV shows
Right.
through streaming has evolved to this monstrous industry.
Well, it's funny if you think about it, how the evolution went, right?
yeah,
So the evolution of this whole thing, and the destruction of the video store, and
right,
closing them all down. But it's been a steady evolution too. Then Netflix came out. Do you know what I mean? Like
right,
the Red Box,
right,
and then it grew,
right,
and now you're like, wow, if I get Netflix, I can watch, XYZ,
right,
or the whole alphabet. I have a whole laundry list of movies here that I can watch. But, and that's the best thing about it. I mean, God, when we were younger, like, we had for a while it was 50 channels, maybe 60 channels.
yeah,
During the height of it. We
Yeah.
had MTV, VH1.
yeah.
We thought it was cool when you could play music on your TV.
Oh yeah, like going like the music channel.
Yeah.
And like, oh, here's rock and roll. I'll just listen to this commercial free all day. This is awesome.
Right. But what I'm saying is, like, it's been a steady evolution,
Yeah.
since then.
Right.
And look where we're at. I mean, that's... And I know, like, people say technologically, we're like, in this funk. We should have been way ahead of the game by now.
Right. Right.
But we're pretty ahead of the game as far as it's coming. It's catching up, I think.
Yeah.
This isn't like a 30-year thing. This has happened the past 10 years,
Yeah.
where we've jumped big time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, to the point that physical media is outdated.
Yeah, in a sense.
In many senses. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Except for records.
yeah, records have made a comeback, but there is, like, I mean, if you look at it, like, like it starts with Netflix offering old movies and TV shows that you can watch on your computer, or like I think the biggest thing they did was that they got into, like, they got their platform on Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like, that was monstrous. And once they did that, like, that's when it kind of took off. To the point now where, like, Spotify, like,
Oh, yeah.
everybody subscribes to Spotify.
Yep.
My car does not have a way of playing physical media. This is the first car
Neither
I've
does
ever
mine.
owned since, like, my 1979 Chevy Love truck.
Yeah.
That did not have a way of playing. It just had a radio.
Right.
But I can connect my phone via Bluetooth, and I can play my Spotify playlist, or my, I listen to Apple streaming service. But whatever it is, I can do that now. That's how I have to do it. I don't have a way of playing a CD in my car.
But look how it's opened up everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
We're no longer the city of DVE and 96.9.
Right.
We're the city of, we can listen to whatever the fuck we want to listen to.
But it's opened up that ability to go and find an album or a band and explore them.
Yeah.
Like, there are records I never owned, or albums or CDs or tapes I never owned, so I never got to listen to the whole thing. Like, the hits. So this is my opportunity to go back
Yeah.
and listen to an album from beginning to end. that I never listened to before.
Right.
You know, and that can be very interesting. Like, why is the Beatles' White Album considered the greatest album of all time?
Right.
You know, well, let me go back and listen to that, because curiosity is killing me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Or, you know, the Doors' Morrison Hotel, you know, stuff like that. Like, you know, but you also have to have the curiosity to want to do that.
Yeah, but before you had to buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you can just listen to it.
Yeah. Like, I had to buy it, or my friend had to buy it so I could listen to it with my friend.
Right.
Now I have the ability with my phone or my tablet or whatever that I can go and find the music and I can explore it on my own because I'm paying for this service that has everything available to me.
Yeah, and you can find anything you want online. You can find Bruce Springsteen bootlegs
Yeah.
from '83.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. You would have to be in the know and in the club
Yeah.
in order to get any kind of bootleg from Springsteen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not that I'm a Springsteen fan. It's just an example.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think for the most part it's really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think sometimes it comes into a bad play where you're flooded with bands. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I can imagine it would be hard to break through as a band now. Harder.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I do. I think so too. I mean,
You know.
I guess the hardest thing in the world has got to be to find a way to break through.
Right.
You know, and I don't know, like, where that push comes from, because it used to come from the record label.
Right.
The record label wanted to make money off of you, so they were talking to, you know, I mean, that was with the old payola.
Yeah.
You know, here's a few $100. We need you to play this album for us.
Yeah.
You know, here, play this record for this band, this single. You know, and that's how stars were made.
Yeah.
You know, but now, like, we've made the joke, like, you know, the X is nothing more than a '90s version of DVE.
Yeah.
Where they're just playing grunge over and over and over. There is no new music on there.
No.
You know, the bands that are still popular, you know, like, just as an example, like the Foo Fighters, you know, they're going to go on a tour. They're going to go through Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster owns their own amphitheaters and venues that they'll book you through, and you know, it's all tidy and neat.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You know, we'll make sure you get the publicity. We'll make sure you get this. We'll make sure, you know, like, so how does a band who isn't the Foo Fighters
Right.
break through? Because you're playing Mr. Smalls,
Yeah.
you know, instead of playing, you know, Starlight Amphitheater.
Right.
And there's a huge difference in that,
Yeah.
you know.
No, I know.
And like Ticketmaster will even arrange your tour. So okay, here's a 25 city tour. Oh, by the way, we're gonna package you with this band as your opening act because we think they're up and coming.
Yeah.
You know, and they'll work well with your audience. So this is the band that we're behind, that we're gonna put in front of your fans,
Yeah.
so that your fans will listen to them.
Right.
You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hiring your replacement.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what that is.
Right. Well, you're not hiring your replacement because, I mean, like the Rolling Stones have never been replaced. You know what I mean? Like, those monster bands, like the Foo Fighters, will never be replaced. They'll tour. They'll be one of the biggest acts in the world until they don't want to be. But the point is, here's the band we're going to put in front. Like, we believe in this band because we got this so much money from your from another record company. So we're going to put them with you. We're going to put this package together so that we can make this band popular.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean...
No, I get it. You know,
Yeah.
it's funny we're on this subject, too. Real quick interjection, but I was talking to this lady today.
Uh-huh.
She's probably around. She's almost retirement age,
Yeah.
maybe a little older.
Right.
Really cool lady, nurse. I worked with her for years,
Right.
and I never heard this story. And we're listening to music, right?
Right.
She's got some good tunes going through, man. Like Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
She's playing some Hendrix. She's playing some good stuff.
Yeah.
Stones, you know,
Yeah.
Zeppelin, and oldies too. You know, oldies consider
Yeah.
60s stuff.
Yeah.
And we're listening, and she was like, "You know what's funny?" And I'm like, "What's that?" You know. He's like, "I saw Hendrix." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here." She was like, "No, it's probably like 1968. It's like before he got like huge."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, you'll never guess who he was touring with."
The Monkees.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. And I was like, "Holy shit!" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yes." And everybody in the audience, all the girls,
Yeah.
when they said, when he goes, "Foxy, Foxy lady," wah, wah, wah,
Yeah.
wah, wah, all the women in the audience went, "Foxy Davy."
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah.
like the audience would go,
Yeah.
"Foxy, Foxy Davy,"
Yeah.
because Davy Jones was
Yeah.
sex symbol.
Right.
I find that amazing.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
saw him. I mean,
Yeah.
she was.
Yeah, I knew he toured with the Monkees because the Monkey, oddly enough, like the Monkees were a product that was like formed and created, but they were dumb enough to think they were that good
Right.
because they went off on their own and they did Head, and like that was a fucking disaster. But like when they went on tour, like it was like, well, no, we're not gonna book like some bubblegum act. We really think this guy, Jimi Hendrix, is the next big thing. So but people were like frightened.
Oh, Hendrix.
Yeah.
Well, the crowd. Yes.
Yeah,
Because they were
it's all like,
bubblegum chewers.
yeah, it's all 12-year-olds, who are there to see Davy Jones and all the Monkees, and here comes Jimmy fucking lighting guitars on fire.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Hendrix is amazing.
He is. Like I can't deny that for a second. Like if anybody tells me Jimi Hendrix is the greatest guitarist of all time, I have no argument.
I'll tell you what, though. And I'm going to say this, and I think one of the greatest guitarists of all time. No, I know. And there's a lot of fucking guitarists. I mean,
Yeah.
I can go through the list. You can say Clapton, and especially the ones that, especially the originals. Jimmy Page, like those original
Yeah.
guys, just amazing, right?
Right.
Invented sound.
Right.
Eddie Van Halen
Right.
invented sound.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I tell you, I think one of the best guitarists on earth. I mean, he's dead now. Is Prince,
Oh yeah.
hands down.
Hands down.
I have never. I watched. I mean, I've been listening to some Prince lately anyway, but I watched that tribute concert again.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for George Harrison.
Yeah.
When he does My Guitar Gently Weeps. Oh, that's insanity.
You can't touch it.
No.
Like, I that might have been one of the finest guitar performances I have ever seen. Ever.
Yeah.
Like, without seeing it, but I mean, like, on
Right.
screen. Like, and he knew it. Like, he felt it.
Yeah.
Like, he was winking at his kids, like, I'm doing this for your dad.
Yeah.
And
Like-
this is what I could do. It was incredible.
Like, and I just
He was looking at Tom Petty, he's like, you're a piece of shit compared to
like I would love to
for
know what
real.
I
And
would-
everybody on stage. Because as soon as he started playing his licks,
Yeah.
he took it fucking completely over.
Like Tom Petty's jaw
unbelievable.
is a gape.
Yeah.
Like he has no clue what's going on. Like, and I'd love to like what was the conversation like? Like, because like everybody else that's on that stage like has a connection to George Harrison. Everybody else on that stage are like a Wilbury or like George Harrison's kid. Like they're like everybody on there. Like I have no idea what Prince's connection to George Harrison is, but I cannot imagine like I want the solo. Like what?
Apparently, he played it like really cool. Like, he didn't let too much on at all.
Yeah.
Like, supposedly he was, like, really calm and, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll play it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
usual Prince,
Like-
soft.
Like, we're talking about a guitar solo that on the record was done by Eric Clapton,
Right.
and George Harrison had to learn it and perfect it.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah,
Like,
he did.
in all honesty, like, but for Prince to come on that stage, like, on that stage,
Yeah, with those people.
with those people, and completely tear the fucking house down with that guitar solo. Like, I've constantly said, Queen's Live Aid 20 minutes is the greatest 20 minutes in rock and roll history. Prince's guitar solo for my guitar, sweat.
No, man.
Like, he did that like it was like a warm-up.
Yeah. It's crazy. He was into it, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you could see him, like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? He was completely into that solo.
Yeah.
I almost lost
And
my
then just
lunch.
walks the fuck off stage.
I almost lost my lunch when he tipped back
Yeah.
into the crowd and they
Yeah.
pushed him back up. And
Yeah.
he was looking right at his kid.
Yeah.
That's
And never missed a beat.
some fine Kenobi beard shit going on
Yeah.
right there. Never missed a beat. And he fucking anybody out there that hasn't seen this, they have to watch this. 'Cause
You have.
It's one of the best things I've ever seen in my life as far as solos go.
Yeah.
Because he just fucking crushes it. And not only he takes that whole stage over.
Yeah.
The guys are
Like,
looking at him
there
like
are legends on that stage who are bumfuzzled by what they just saw.
they couldn't even compete with that.
No.
And he knew it. And
Yeah.
he kept looking at him too, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at the end, he struts his 5'2" ass off. He struts off. He
He does.
struts.
He does.
Pimp walks off the stage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the man called Prince, sons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You better learn. You better recognize some badass shit right there. That is some badass shit. That's called clout. No, really.
You're right. I watched the video one
That's
time of
incredible.
Prince, and it was a 15-minute version. It was the original recording of Purple Rain. And it's like 15 minutes long. And it's being underneath it, it's like this the sound engineer who worked that show.
Mm-hmm.
He's like giving like information about the song as it's going. And he's like, at the end of the song, when Prince hits that chord, that the end of Purple Rain, like he plays it for like 5 minutes, and he's like, all he's doing right now is just trying to perfect it. He's editing on stage right now what the actual song is going to be. And this is why he keeps playing his lick over and over and over and over and over again. It's not for them, it's for him. Because he's trying to find the perfection of it, so that's what goes into the recording.
Wow.
Like, it's an amazing thing to watch. Like, the original recording of, because it's a live song. Because in the movie it's live. So he recorded it live, but he ended up like doing like a 15-minute version of it that he then edited down to what the actual song is.
Right.
And it's like, it's amazing to watch him, like, and you can watch him like, okay, yeah, that kind of, no, oh, there we go, there it is. Like, you can see him on stage, like, literally, like, just like editing it in his head.
Sick.
It is.
It's sick. And he also played 23 other instruments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
talk about your prodigies.
Yeah. Like, no, you're right. Like, I mean, I feel like,
Maybe I should take that back. I mean, I would say Prince is probably one of the best musicians ever.
he is. Like, and he's one of the most underrated.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, it's funny, when you talk to people from our generation, and it's like, not all, but most that are, like, in the mainstream.
Yeah.
They, oh, yeah, he did Batman and stuff like that. And no, he did a lot more than that.
There's a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong. Near the end.
And some, he did, newest shit from the beginning, like Purple Rain and
Yeah.
Raspberry Beret and, all that.
Even going back to like 1999, the Little Red Corvette and shit like that. I mean, like
Not 1999. 89 maybe?
No, the song "Gonna Party Like It's 1999."
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Little Red Corvette was released in 1999. I was
No.
like, no.
No.
It was before 89. Too.
Yeah. But like, I think I was released in '82.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, that shit hit so hard. DVE was playing it.
Yeah, crazy. They didn't play anything out of the box.
No. But that was that like Little Red Corvette in 1999 hit so hard, like a rock and roll station was like, yeah, it's good enough to play on here. Like, here's Ted Nugent, here's Prince.
But he became iconic with a lot of his songs.
Yeah.
When you hear Dearly Beloved,
Oh yeah.
dude, it's one of the most iconic phrases in
Yeah.
fucking history. You can get on to at least 60% of the people on the street would know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Even if they're a Prince fan or not.
Yeah.
They would know. They would know what's happening right
Oh
now.
yeah. You just play that first line. That's all you need, and people are like, "Oh shit, yeah, here we go. Let's go crazy." Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh.
It's like, I don't know. I mean, you think of everybody in Prince's band, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was sort of like a throwback to Parliament and
Yeah. Oh
the
yeah.
Commodores or
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean? Not Commodores, but you understand. what I'm
Right.
saying.
The Revolution was like a throwback to like you're right, like the
That old school shit.
Yeah.
Right? But man, he made some good stuff. And not only did he make some good stuff, but he wrote some good songs that he didn't even do himself.
Yeah.
Well, he did. But then he wrote for other people.
Yeah.
Like Sinead. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
I mean,
God damn.
more stay in the time.
Dick Morstein.
Yeah. That's killer. I mean, that shit is killer.
It is. I mean, he's just. He had to die. You know? I mean, we.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But podcast. There's a lot of people that died too during our podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Huge names.
Well, I mean, like the three that grabbed about Bowie, Prince, and Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
You know.
And then our family.
Yeah, our family as well, yeah.
All through all these, 10
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Pat, Graham, Mom,
Yeah.
Bonnie.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Been around a long time when all that shit happens.
Yeah.
Dearly beloved.
That's good shit right there, man.
I'll never forget when I heard Raspberry Beret. No, for real.
Yeah.
I was. God, I don't even know how old I was. I was young. Younger.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was at Olympia Shopping Center. Remember when G.C. Murphy was there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mom went into D&K. Remember
Okay.
D&K
Yeah.
stores?
Oh, my mom worked at D&K up at the where Hills was in Duquesne.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we went into D&K. Mom needed some dish rags.
Yeah.
The craft show wasn't for a couple months. So
Yeah.
we had to get some dish rags.
Yeah.
So we went into D&K in Olympia.
Yeah.
That shady ass Olympia store. And all of a sudden they came on the radio. I was like, wow, that's really cool, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, that's a good jam right there.
Yeah.
I like that, It's funny. Memories. But that's the first time I heard that.
All I want is your extra time and your
That's a great song.
kiss. Oh, that's good shit.
Dude, Sexy Motherfucker is a great song.
Oh,
That is a killer song.
it is.
Sexy Motherfucker. I mean, come on, dude. Who says that?
Diamonds and pearls.
Mm.
You know, most beautiful woman in the world. I mean, Prince knew. I mean,
Did he know?
yeah.
Also, too, when I first heard Seven, I was like, that's some badass shit right there.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like he got away from guitar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that was kind of the time period
Yeah.
at the time. But I think it was the best of what the time period had to offer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when I heard Seven, I was like, man, that's some good shit. That's a good album,
Yeah.
you know? But it's not Prince guitar.
No, it's not. But
You know, but
yeah.
it's still good
It's
music.
the evolution of Prince.
Right. You know, it's funny. You go through the whole evolution of Prince, right? And then he plays that fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like you see this whole evolution, and all of a sudden, man, yeah, that dude still got it. Like in space.
Yeah.
You know?
Like that moment is honestly the most ridiculous. Like I remember watching that going like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like I couldn't believe it myself.
I know. I watched it 3 times today at work.
Yeah. Because it's just that fucking good.
Yeah. I was showing it to people like
Yeah.
some kind of idiot.
Yeah. Did you ever see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remembered, you know, and there was a woman that I don't work with. She's a vendor, but she's one of the biggest Prince fans ever,
Yeah.
right? And she went, I mean, ever. This woman is like,
Yeah.
yeah. And we're just sharing stories, you know, and I showed her the video. And it was like that. And she had seen it, but she had forgotten about it. you know,
Yeah.
So we watched it together. And she goes, and she said, you know what happened to me? And I was like, what? What happened? And I was like, I went out to Vegas, you know, for a conference or something.
Yeah.
And they gave us tickets to some artist. I can't remember the name of the artist that was there.
Yeah.
Erica Badu, maybe?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that. She was playing, so they went to the show. And she said she was sitting there, and, you know, they had good seats, of course.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden she was like, yeah, I want to introduce this, you know, my special guest for the night, fucking Prince.
Wow.
Played with her for like 2 hours.
Wow.
And she was like freaking out.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because she's not just a Prince fan, she's like a diehard Prince fan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
she loves the man.
Right.
You know, I mean, and his music.
Right.
You know, more, you know, it's not like she's a groupie or anything. She loves his music.
Right.
And it's cool to see that because
Yeah.
it's kind of some of that's gone away, you know. Like for Prince,
Right,
you know.
right.
But yeah, I thought that was a cool story. Yeah, I heard that story and the Hendrix story today.
Yeah. And it was also, there is a great video on YouTube. It's Lenny Kravitz and Prince doing American Woman.
Ooh,
Yeah.
both have guitars.
Yeah.
Is it good?
It's good.
Lenny Kravitz's so fucking cool, dude.
He is.
He's a cool motherfucker.
Yeah, like, I mean,
come on, that's Lenny Kravitz, dude.
yeah, I know. I mean, it's a,
You can't throw anything at that dude and be like, no, he's a jerk. You know? Or,
like,
dude.
dude is pimp smooth.
Yeah.
He was married to Lisa Bonet
Right.
and was like, essentially just like, yeah, I'm blood brothers with Jason Momoa because he's married to my ex. Like,
yeah.
and like those two cats could not tame that woman. Like, how fucked up crazy is Lisa Bonet?
Oh, she's fucking
No,
nuts, though, dude.
No, oh man, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Like if those two cats can't keep her down, like.
Cosby did something to that bitch. I just,
I mean, it goes back to that. What the fuck was that movie she did with De Niro? Oh, the one where De Niro was the devil. Cosby was pissed because she ends up naked in the movie. Oh, I gotta look it up now.
I have no idea.
Oh, I gotta look this up because it was an amazing movie, but like,
Was it?
oh yeah, it's amazing. Angel Heart, 1987.
All right.
Yeah.
Cosby was pissed.
Yeah, because she ends up naked in the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm drugging people.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm naked. I'm pissed because you're naked in a movie, but I'm drugging people to fuck them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. Here's the top 3 billed on IMDb for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa Bonet, Robert De Niro, Mickey Rourke.
shit.
Yeah. A private investigator is hired by a man who calls himself Louis Sapphire to track down a singer named Johnny Favorite, but the investigation takes an unexpected and somber turn. That's the description.
You know, that sounds like an HBO night movie.
Oh, it wasn't. I mean, believe it or not, this was released in, like I said, it's got De Niro in it. This was released in theaters, but it was like, it was a very controversial film at the time.
You know what was an HBO night movie? Speaking, I'm just thinking of night movies by HBO. That fucked me up. It was just the weirdest fucking movie. Dressed to Kill.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that movie?
Yeah. You know what somebody...
I was so young when I watched that. Because Mom worked night turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm watching TV. She gets in the cab.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What's wrong with her?
Yeah.
What's happening? Why is she acting like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. Later on, I figured it out.
Yeah.
It was a
time.
weird fucking movie.
Time, man.
It almost looked like a snuff film at some points.
It did.
Huh?
You know what somebody mentioned online here that I haven't thought about this movie in like 100 years? The Nude Bomb.
What?
Yeah, it was a they did a like in the early 80s, it was a revival of Get Smart.
Okay.
They did a movie called The Nude Bomb.
Okay.
You know, where Chaos was working on a bomb that would destroy all of your clothes.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so you got Maxwell Smart and Agent 99 tracking down. I mean, the end of it.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really them?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't ever think I've ever seen that.
Yeah. Oh. Like, it was like one of those movies, like, I remember, like, going to the drive-in. My parents, like, I can't remember. I think it was, like, we saw Indiana, like, the first Indiana Jones movie, and then, like, the second movie was,
Ice Pirates. No, I'm just kidding.
no, that. That may be the greatest pissed off grandmother moment of my life.
When he came out the afro, dude, I was like, fuck, I am done. When they aged, remember when they aged?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I mean, like,
it was fucking this big.
I mean, like, the space herpy, like, every joke our grandmother was just disgust. And me and Ian were just laughing our asses off. Like, we had to sit through Bambi first, and then Ice Pirates was the second movie.
Which was brutal. It was just like, ugh.
But then the second movie, like, and they took all of us. I think all of our cousins were there, and like me and you were like of course, like Becky and Jane, like I think they were like trying to hide their laughter. But me, you, and Tracy were just like laughing our asses off at like what's the stupidest fucking movie ever made, but I still think is one of the most hilarious in Ice Pirates. And like every dirty joke, every double entendre, it was like this poor woman was just disgusted with us. As we were just rolling on the ground laughing.
Yeah. She did not like our humor.
No, at all. Gordon, what are we still doing here? Well, they find it funny,
He liked it.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Deep down.
Yeah.
He had to have.
Yeah. I can imagine he was, deep down, he was probably chuckling a little bit.
Because my mom liked it. She thought it was funny.
Yeah.
There had to... That's funny. Like, they were married for so long. Like, I think he gave and gave and gave and gave.
Yeah.
But I think he went to the movies. That was for him.
Yeah. Oh, it was.
Yeah. And, like, I think that... I think deep down in Gordon there was mom.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, full-fledged.
Yeah.
Because my mom was like... She watched everything.
Yeah.
And, she took us to ours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and that was Uncle Gordon or your grandpa
Yeah. Well, I mean, like,
for sure.
I remember I took him to go see Crow. And the thing I was expecting was like some pushback when like he makes the, Jesus Christ walks into the innkeeper and hands him 3 nails and says, "Can you put me up for the night?" I was expecting like,
Yeah.
nothing. Like he was like cool with it. Like I was expecting like what do you think of the movie? Like, that was good. I enjoyed it. It was very interesting. I like I was expecting like I didn't appreciate the Jesus joke. Nothing. Like
Nah, I think like I didn't think it was all for show for her,
yeah.
because it was so important to her.
Yeah.
But I do. I think deep down, like his soul was like Mom.
Yeah.
Like Grandma Coon told stories,
Right.
and she loved books, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I think that was his soul, but he sacrificed a lot of that when he married Lou.
But I also
Does that
think
make a lot of sense?
Yeah, but I also think he enjoyed it. Like,
No, I'm not saying he didn't enjoy it.
Like he enjoyed sitting down with Grandma and watching the ice skating and the gymnastics and stuff like that. Like
I agree with you.
you know.
But I think there was also a part of him that not the dark side, but what I'm saying is like
A side of gray.
yes,
Yeah.
the side of gray.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he loves science fiction.
He did.
He loved all that shit.
Yeah.
Remember Saturn 9? I don't know why that came in.
Oh wow. Wow. There's a movie I
Is
haven't
that Farrah
thought of.
Fawcett?
Yeah, it's Farrah Fawcett.
Oh, that robot always freaked me out when I was.
Me too. Oh,
That was
that
terrifying.
scene where she has the metal flake in her eye.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
it's too much.
Yeah. Fucked me up. All right, so wow, we've gone down a odd rabbit hole.
Good rabbit holes.
It's a good rabbit hole, yeah, I agree. It's an interesting rabbit hole, but an odd rabbit hole nonetheless. So let's wrap this up.
Do we have to?
No, but statistics show the longer we go, the less people listen.
Okay.
I think it takes so much of us, those that do listen. So, well, I think first off, as always, whenever we have a celebration, I want to thank you.
Well, thank you. Sir.
It's been 10 years, 10 glorious years of us doing this almost every week and getting together and spending time together, breaking bread,
Yeah.
and it's, no better co-host.
Yeah, I've had a great time.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, like, thinking back to the first couple, taking so many notes and,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, worried how we're going to sound and how I'm going to sound. And I'm talking like first 15, 20 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
So new to it.
It took you 100 episodes to come out of your shell.
Yeah.
It honestly did. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It took you 100 episodes to get, to be comfortable.
Yeah. But it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I look forward to it every week, and we've made some good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Bright spot in my week,
Me too. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Plus, think about it. Where would me and you, or you and I,
Yeah.
be if we didn't have the podcast?
I don't know.
Once a month, maybe once every 2 months, seeing each other
Maybe. Yeah.
at funerals.
Yeah.
No, really.
Yeah.
But it's kept us close.
Yeah.
Which it should be anyway.
Right.
Which keeps us together
Exactly. I agree.
from when we were, 10 years old, recording
Yeah.
shit on a
On a boom box.
Emerson boombox.
Yeah.
No, really.
Yeah.
With a microphone.
Yeah.
So it's our evolution.
It is. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
100%.
So thank you.
Thank you. And I want to thank everybody who's...
Thank you, Thad.
Yes, thank you, Thad. Thad is the OG super fan. There's no doubt about that. He is the one person who's been here since day one. But I want to thank everybody. Like, you know, I mean, it's been 10 years, and like I said, like, you know, there's so many people like, you know, Otter and Stork and Thad and Peacock and Sarah, Ant. Going back to, like, you know, when Cindy used to write in every week, and Rick, the way along our path, and even like people like, you know, our friends Henno, you know, but also like, you know, our friends with like the networks we're with Tangent Bound Network, We Be Geeks Network, and Podbreed Network. You know, so many of them have been supportive, and you know, we can't thank them enough for helping us out along the way, and people like Henno and Neo and Annalise from Dark Angels are Pretty Freaks. The Angry Ginger with 7 Days a Geek. Our Jason and Jeff and Jim and Blake over at Hobie, and their fans or their followers or their listeners who also interact with us and listen to the show. You know, thanks to them as well. And you know, it's been a long 10 years. It's been an interesting 10 years. It's been a 10 years I wouldn't give up for the world. And I always, like I said today on Facebook, the best decision I ever made was to do this.
Yeah.
Like, and that seems weird because we don't make a dime off of it. You know, we hardly anybody listens to it. But like you said, this is the bright spot of my week. This is the thing I look forward to the most. Like, I can't wait to come in, even if I've got nothing. And nowadays, most weeks I don't. I don't even come prepared most weeks now, which probably explains why nobody listens to the show and it's just a bunch of ramblings. But because it's us talking. It's like, hey, this is what I watched this week. This is what, and it leads us down a rabbit hole. Like I had some topics for today, but we ended up going down the rabbit hole we went down, and I'm glad we did, because that was probably more fun than the subjects I had picked out for this week.
Yeah, but that's what we do.
Right. You know, I mean, this is oddly, over 10 years, this has progressed from, hey, this was the news of the week, or this was the trailer of the week, to, fuck it, let's just talk.
Yeah.
And I love that. I prefer that. And, you know, maybe most people don't. Most people, this isn't their cup of tea, but at the end of the day, I enjoy it. And as long as I enjoy it, as long as you enjoy it, that's the only two opinions that really matter to me.
Yeah. It's all about us.
It is.
It is, really.
So, thank you.
Yeah.
If you started listening to us last week, thank you. You know, and all the people along the way, whether you've somebody who's listened and fell off or come back or whatever it is, you know, the fact that somebody's out there listening to this in Brazil, like, I don't, like, you know, back 10 years ago, like, I was addicted to our statistics. Now I look at them once a week. And even then, it's just like a casual glance because I know what they're going to be.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, it's like, still when I look and I take a look and, like, it's like, I mean, Anthony's in Ireland. He's a dedicated listener. He hasn't written in a while, but he listens.
Right.
He's in fucking Ireland. Listen to two jamokes in Glassport, Pennsylvania, speak into a microphone and record it for some ungodly reason.
All right.
Like, and he's in fucking Ireland. Like,
He's a great guy.
and he's a great guy. And I guess that's that odd thing of, like, you know, how does that work? And I understand how the internet works, but it's like having that reach of, like, somebody in Ireland was interested enough because he saw me post an episode called Douche Metal
Nice.
to find out what we were all about,
Yeah.
and got hooked and listened to us ever since, and has laughed with us.
Yeah.
And, you know, so many people don't respond to us. I got, like I said, not a lot, but when you see like somebody's listening to us in France or, Saudi Arabia, or, so is that like some soldier on an Air Force base or an Army base or a Marine base who he's from Pittsburgh and he looks us up and he downloads 10 episodes to get a taste of home?
Yeah.
If that's the case, glad we can help you out.
Yeah, really.
And it's just stuff like that you ask the question, it's been 10 years, you haven't made a dime off the fucking thing. Why do you keep doing it? And that's part of it. I mean, it's the fun that you and I have. I feel like if we didn't do it, we'd drift apart because I'm that kind of person. But at the same time, there is like that oddball thing of like, maybe this is something somebody else looks forward to every week.
Yeah.
Wherever they are in the world.
Right.
And they listen to you complain about Pittsburgh traffic and laugh because they know exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
Even though they're in Australia.
Right. No,
So-
I know they know.
Yeah. So if you do want us to talk about something, if you want to just say hello, if you want to say thank you or congratulate us, you can send us an email. That email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. We are also on Mastodon. So you can find us there. I'm still trying to figure that thing out. And again, thank you to our network partners, the Tangent Bound Network, Weeby Geeks Network, and Podbreed Network. We can't thank them enough for their support, and you as well. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
Peace.